The brain gauge. Why it's so important to test your brain. Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Michael Johnson. I'm a board-certified chiropractic neurologist in Appleton, Wisconsin. I've been in private practice since 1983, so that's 36 plus years in natural health care as I'm making this video. And I'm the clinic director of the Optimal Health Stem Cell and Wellness Institute. So today I want to talk to you about the brain gauge and why it's so important. And I'm going to show you some befores. So we just started utilizing this technology in our practice along with a portable PEMF unit. And we've been getting some amazing results with people. Amazing results. So let's look at normals and we'll look at why it works and how it works. So this is from Cortical Metrics. You can go to corticalmetrics.com. You can see this is what a normal looks like. And I don't know if you can see it. I'll put it up there as close as I can. The very top one is speed. That tells me frontal lobe. Accuracy tells me about the parietal lobe. Temporal order judgment, TOJ, that tells me about your temporal lobe. It has to do with memory. So frontal lobe is who you are. Temporal lobe is your memory. Parietal lobe is sensation. And then the time perception has to do with the cerebellum. The cerebellum is the back part of the brain, controls your balance, coordinated movement. The rest of those, the connectivity, plasticity, fatigue, cortical metric, that tells me how to use the coils or the O-rings. So the first four tells me where to place it and how to place it. Now you see you are coming down, that's a mixed results. That's what mixed results looks like. And then these are very poor results down below. And so we're going to show you some actual patients that were in our office. First, let me tell you and show you how it works and why it is so important. This is from my book, What Do You Do When the Medications Don't Work? This is the brain. That's the motor strip, that gray area. Slice it, open it up. Look at the representation the hand has on the brain. So we're going to test these two fingers. And this is the pro model of the brain gauge. They actually have a home unit. And your fingers go right over the two little points. And they vibrate. And what the brain gauge does is tell you or ask you which one was before the other, or which one had a larger sensation, all these different questions. And so what it's testing, let me get this. What it's testing is focus, speed, fatigue, accuracy, sequencing, time perception. Again, time perception is that cerebellum, plasticity, and connectivity. Once again, your brain is plastic. It's neuroplasticity. And your brain can regrow neurons. That's called neurogenesis. And how do you do that? Well, ideally, you would do our complete program. Not everybody can, but ideally you want complete blood work. You want to decrease inflammation. You want to support the organs. You want to look at complete hormone testing. You want to look at complete genetic testing. And you want to look at complete trigger testing. You want to eliminate toxins and infections. That's huge, especially for your brain. So how does it work? Here's the home unit. The brain gauge is a cognitive assessment tool, measures brain health by testing sensory perceptions in your fingertips. I showed you why. The tips will buzz your fingers in a specific way. And so that's how it all works. So let's look at some of our actual patients. And you can see why this is so important. I'll show you my brain gauge first. Now, keep in mind, I was using this portable PEMF unit. This is what it looks like for a month. These are the rings. You place it on the brain. But I've also had complete blood work done. I've also done stem cell therapy. I've also done complete hormone testing. I've also done trigger testing. I've also done genetic testing. So I've run the gamut. And after a month, this is what my brain gauge looked like. So I'll show you that. And you can see here, that's me up there, MLJ, Michael L. Johnson. This is the radar map, and you want that all filled in. But look at this guy. Look at this one, if I can get it here in the frame. See, the speed is off. That's my frontal lobe. Everything else looks really good, 95 to 100. Speed and focus, not so good. Cortical metric, overall, 76. So my frontal lobe isn't really doing the way what it should. But then, what did I do with that? I want to show you this. Excuse me. Oh, this is good. This is huge. It's huge. So that red one up there, that's the frontal lobe. And what it says is speed is computed from reaction time and variability on the reaction time tests. Look at this. This is what got me. It's right underneath there, right over here. Disruption of white matter integrity occurs with a number of conditions such as traumatic insult, TBI, MS, and some neurodegenerative conditions. I have MS. So let me highlight that for you. Read what's in the yellow there. Disruption of the white matter integrity occurs with a number of conditions such as traumatic insult, traumatic brain injury, MS, and some neurodegenerative conditions. Boom. That just hooked me right there. It really did. And then if you look at the next one you're testing parietal lobe, and it's down here with the plasticity score. This can cause a low plasticity score, which is often in chronic pain patients. So chronic pain patients are going to have problems with the accuracy. Some patients with neurodegenerative problems and some patients with traumatic insult, particularly the parietal lobe. If you move down here at the very bottom, right down in here, it says with autism, or higher than normal values for temporal order judgment are consistent with autism, migraine, non-headache, chronic pain, some degenerative disorders. And then finally, the cerebellum. If you look at this last sentence, higher than normal values for timing perception found with consistent with migraine, headache, pain. Cerebellum controls your balance and coordinated movement. So let's come back to this guy. See this? This guy right here? So what you're looking for is, there's the frontal lobe right up in front. That fires to lower brainstem. Back here's the cerebellum, controls your balance and coordinated movement. Cerebellum fires to frontal lobe fires to lower brainstem. So it's that loop. You want that loop. So this is really, really, really good stuff. Let's look at another patient. So we started testing all our patients. Like I said, this is me, and I've got some work to do on the frontal lobe. So what this has told me, where to place it, but then how do you place the coils? There's a number of different ways to use these coils. You could stack them, one on top of the other, like this. Or you could go side by side, or you could go either side, front to back. So the brain gauge, it not only tells me where to place the coils, but how to place the coils. Because the studies have shown the befores and afters, it works. It definitely works. Here's a severe TBI patient right down here, and look at the before. Because I'm going to show you some patients like this of ours, and look at after a month. Now, I'm not saying every patient that's going to happen, but that's a lot better. Here's moderate TBI. This is the initial testing. So look at their speed. It was not good. Their temporal order judgment. So the frontal lobe is the speed. Temporal order judgment is the temporal lobe. Accuracy is parietal lobe. Time perception is cerebellum. But then look at the connectivity. So that's going to tell me the connectivity, plasticity, fatigue. That's going to tell me how to use those coils. And then look at after, well, this is just after 2 weeks. So that's pretty amazing. Changes can be made. So here's a patient of ours. This is an adrenal fatigue patient. And let me see if I can get that in the frame. Got it, I believe. And so look at that temporal order judgment, right? Temporal order judgment is not good. So we want to place those O-rings over that temporal lobe. His speed isn't so good either. I think I've got that in there. This is an actual patient. Look at that radar. So obviously we need to work on his temporal lobe. Here's the patient. This is another MS patient. This is kind of consistent with MS patients. Look at this. So you see his speed not so good at 23, should be 98 to 100. Look at his temporal order judgment. So frontal temporal lobe, we want to work those two with him. Look at that radar, right? This is a patient we did. This is our MSA patient, and I have her permission. So we really have her frontal lobe working, because look at her speed. It's like 5. And look at her focus down below. That's like 5. So we want to work frontal lobe, and we want to work parietal lobe. And we're doing that with her. This is a stroke patient. Now we're going to get into some bad cases. This is severe brain injury when you have a stroke. Look at this patient, folks. Look at that. Speed is 5. Accuracy is 5. Temporal order. She needs a new brain. And basically, we can provide her with that, with everything that we're doing. Now, look, I get it. Not everybody can do the whole program. Some people can just do the portable PEMF. Something is better than nothing, right? So, but you're going to get faster results if we use everything that we're doing at our disposal, right? If we do the stem cells into the brown fat, and we have a new stem cell company, New Life Cells, out of California. They have 25 million stem cells per cc. I mean, we were with a company that had 5 million stem cells per cc, and we would do 4 cc's. Now we only have to give the patient 1 cc, and we actually get 5 million more stem cells. So that's technology. Here's another MS patient. Look at this poor patient. Look at everything, speed, accuracy. This is what people are showing up with, and she has a lot of trouble walking. We're going to help this patient. Here's another patient with a stroke. Her entire left side just shot. And it could only measure 4 parameters: speed, time percept, focus, and overall. That's how bad she was. Look at that radar. Oh my gosh, that thing should be full. And again, just as a comparison, this is mine. Coming back to mine, I'll show you mine. I don't mind it because it's consistent with MS. Look at the speed. Look at my accuracy. My parietal lobe's good. Temporal lobe's good. Cerebellum's good. But speed and focus, way off. Look at my radar. This guy right here. So that's what the brain gauge gives me. Some good feedback on how to help the patient get better faster. I'm all about people getting better faster. You can get the brain gauge by going to corticalmetrics.com. That's right here, corticalmetrics.com/Dr. Johnson. If you want to purchase it, it's you get a 10% discount. Use the code Dr. Johnson. And that's what it looks like. That's the home unit. That's the testing. And I'll show you what it looks like again. Otherwise, they have plans. 3 months is $24 a month. 6 months is $19 a month, just like it says here. I highly recommend it. This is another great tool in our toolbox. And if you're one of those people, you just don't have the money to do stem cell, this is a great starting point. It really is. And it works on the premise, on the basis, again, that the motor strip, this guy right there, front brain, back brain, motor strip, that gray area allows you to move. Slice it, open it up, look at the representation the hand has. So, if you're interested, shoot me an email. If you have questions, shoot me an email. mljohnson@askdrjohnson.com. It's Saturday. Look, people will say, what causes that? Why are those people so bad? Well, they had a stroke, they have MS, they have neurodegeneration, the brain is shrinking. What causes shrinkage of the brain? Stress. Physical, chemical, emotional stress. And we all I have stress. I was sitting here Wednesday afternoon, I'm sitting right behind me, I'm on the computer, I'm answering emails, waiting for patients. We get a call from the Appleton Water Department. My old office is right over here. We've moved into a brand new facility a couple of years ago, twice the size. We had to. We're just that busy. But my old office building that I have for sale is gushing through 600 gallons of water a minute. I get over there, there's water gushing from the ground floor ceiling. What had happened was that the building's like 70 years old. They had capped off a shower, and that cap had just burst off after so many years. And I couldn't remember where the shutoff valve was, and it took me 30 minutes to find that. And meanwhile, in the basement, there's 2 feet of water. Upstairs, there's a foot of water. Yeah, so now I don't have any time as it is, and now I got to deal with an insurance adjuster and a restoration company Look, my point is everybody has stress. And how you combat stress is by taking care of yourself. Exercise, yes. I'll be the first to admit, I'm more focused on the patients than I am on myself. I don't exercise as much as I should. That has been changing. Eating correctly, very important. Utilizing supplements to support your body. And then something like the brain gauge, that's very important. Clearing out toxins and chemicals, and infections, that's very important. So all of these things, it isn't just one thing, it's everything. But this is a good starting point for most of you. Get the brain gauge, get a portable PEMF unit. I do have a video, I'll have it below, Reboot Your Brain. I talk about this unit and how we work with this. And yeah, if you have a question, just email me. I'm at mljohnson@askdrjohnson.com. I'll have my email below. mljohnson@askdrjohnson.com. I'm Dr. Michael Johnson. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and I look forward to helping you in the future.